Okay, so for the next bootcamp session for the xBrat Range Breakout Auto Trader is the optimization, really. So we're going to go through an optimization process. We're going to use oil on the 5 minute. So remember, metals is on the 5 minute, energy is on the 5 minute, currency is 10 minute, index is 15 minute. There are some differences in some of those when we play data plays, but I'm going to go through one of those later on in this video. So the first thing we need to do is right click on the chart, click on strategies and add our xBrat range breakout. We can double click on that and we're going to click apply. So that comes up on the chart here. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go down to uncheck the European open because we're only interested in the oil pit open. So we're going to go to the first custom session and we're going to change that to oil pit or whatever you want to call it. Then the time is 9:05 because that's when the candle closes for that first 5 minutes. So that defines that range after we open at 9 AM. So we've done that. The next thing to do, we need to make sure that reversals are unchecked, that the opening trade is checked and also the continuation trade is checked, because we're not going to play the reversal right now. I'm going to do that in a later on. What we're going to do now is just the opening trade, the opening range and the continuation. So we're going to leave some of these at default to begin with. So we're going to leave the max range at 0, so it can take any trade, no max range, and we can work that down when we're optimizing. Entry offset of 1 we're going to leave, stop loss offset of 2 we're going to leave. So break even triggers are the one thing we're going to change to begin with before we do a basic run. So we're going to change that to 10 ticks. So when the price action breaches 10 ticks, we're going to put the stop at 2 ticks just to cover costs. We're going to go for confirmation strategy to begin with. So remember from our previous session that confirmation will only take it when those EMA is in the right place. If they're not, it will just revert to target. So the next we need to take check the 3 contracts that we're going to trade where our targets are going to be. So I'm going to put the first target at 15, the next at 25, and then the final one at 40. So when it gets to 15, it's going to take one contract off and take the profit, and so on and so forth. We go down to the continuation trade. We're going to do the same thing, same settings. So we're going to put 10 to, we're going to change that to confirmation, and we're going to have 15, 25, because we need a starting point somewhere. Okay, so we've got the right session time. We've got some basic filters on here that we've just changed here, so we can get that up on the chart and we can run the optimization report. And that gives us that initial starting point, if you like. Okay, made a mistake there, but this is a good learning thing. It doesn't show the ranges on the chart. That's because I missed something on when you do custom ranges. So when you just do the normal ranges, you'll see here that the label's shown, the show lines are shown, but on the custom we need to enable the session as well. Okay, so we've done that, we click apply and then we go again. These little things you must be aware of. So it wasn't intentional, I just forgot to click enable session there. So let's try that one again. Okay, there we have it. We have some traits. So the next thing to do before we do anything else is to ensure that we're getting the right time there. That was a Sunday. Yeah, okay, so we've got the right time. First thing I'm going to do is going to right click and look at that strategy performance report. 0.52, not fantastic, but that's too many trades. What we need to do is identify some really good sort of areas where we're going to get those ranges, those breaks and everything else. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the analysis. We're going to go to days of the week first. Okay, So we're not, you know, we've got a lot of losers in here. Thursdays is good as Tuesdays is good. Well, really what I'm interested in is the hour of the day. When are we good for those trades? So we've got some good slots here. We've got 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Obviously, that is when we have the open. Okay, so that's a good time for that opening range trade because that's when the pit opens. So we're going to go for that first. We're just going to go and just do that time just before the open and going in through the open. We're going to leave everything else off and then we're going to figure out where to do the continuation trades after. But what I'm looking at right now is sort of 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. and those are sort of critical times for Europe as well. So I'm just going to take a note of those. So 2 to 3 a.m. and 5 to 6 a.m. for the continuation. And then we've got that open here. These are some continuation trades coming in at 8 a.m. But in reality, these opening trades is where we want to be. So the next filter we need to do is just to put those on our charts for every single day. So back to strategies, we're going to uncheck this enabled section so we can get on and do some changes. The next thing really is we're coming down to all the way down here to trading sessions mode. So we're going to put it on all days. Okay. So the first time we want it to trade on every day is from 8:50. So we're ready before that open until 9:30 a.m. Okay, so we're tight and we're going to do that particular. So that's our opening range. The next one we're going to do every day is that 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. for those continuation trades. To 3 a.m. Don't forget to change that to a.m. And then we're going to look at that 5 to 6 a.m. session as well. Now these may not be good when we've put this filter on, but we're going to, this is a starting point if you like, to 6 a.m. So we've got that opening range, and then we've got two potential areas where we can do that continuation. So we're going to click apply just so that saves. We're going to back up to the top and we'll go to enable. So now we're only trading on specific times of the day each day. So there's going to be less trades. The next thing to do then is have a quick look at that strategy performance report. It should look a lot better now. Yes, it's in profit. Say over the last two months, 60 days, we're $4,000 in profit. Profit factor's not fantastic, and the max drawdown is massive. Okay, so we're going to obviously have to play with the maximum ranges and all that sort of thing. But the main thing for me is percentage profit is pretty good. Okay, so the thing is we've got some big losing trades in there, so we need to identify when they are. The first thing we can do with that is go back to our analysis. Equity curve looks a lot better now. Just going to go to days of the week. Is there a particular day? Wednesdays. And that makes sense because on Wednesdays we have that oil data, that oil inventory data. So Wednesdays is a bad day for trading conditions. So first, to get rid of those, and probably some of those big losers are on the Wednesday. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go back to our filters and go from all days to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday on those times. So let's do that now. Again, we're going to disable. Then we're going to come all the way down and we're going to go from all days to select days. So remember, we don't want Wednesdays. Mondays we're going to do 08:50 to 09:30 a.m. Tuesdays again we're going to do 08:50 to 09:30 AM. Don't forget to change that. One of the important things as well is when we're doing it Tuesday to Tuesday, Monday to Monday. Wednesday we're not going to do, but I'm going to use this slot for that Monday session between 02 AM and 03 AM. So I've used that slot because we've only got 15, remember, from that previous bootcamp session. So now we're going Thursday, we'll do that 8 AM, 8:50 AM. To 9:30 AM. And the same on Friday. It's a bit laborious, but we need to set this. Once you've set it, it's pretty good. We'll just need to check on the optimization at the end of every week just to make sure it's still running okay. So, and we did 09:30 AM. Finished the last Monday off on session 6, which was 5 to 6 AM. And then I've got to do Tuesday, Thursday and Friday on those other 2 time slots per day. So I'm not going to take you through that laborious thing. I'm just going to pause the video and come back when I've done all of those. Okay, so they're all done. A few sessions left if I needed to do a little bit more optimization, which is good. So the next thing to do is click apply, so it saves it, and then we'll go up to enabled and apply that again. And this is when we're going to start to hopefully see some better results. So we're going to strategy performance report. $6,500 now, profit factor of 2. We've still got max drawdown, so we've got some big losers, one big loser in there really. We've got to find out why that is. So what we're going to do first is we're going to right click and we're going to export that spreadsheet. That spreadsheet is very important. This is our start guide. We've done some reasonably sensible optimization now, but what we've got to do is concentrate on this max drawdown to try and reduce that. We've got a great win rate. We've just got some big losers in there, and this is why I'm using it on the chart rather than the strategy analyzer and optimizer, because I need to see the behavior and see where that biggest loser was. So we've got a start point here, we got a loser here, but that wasn't where I don't think the big loser was. We're going to look for some losers where I most likely have got really big ranges, and that's probably so winner. So we're just going to look back. We see the P&L down at the bottom here. So we got obviously tiptoed into one of them, and we've got to figure out where that one is and what happened. This one here was a losing trade, but in reality that went 10 ticks. Now this is a good example. When we are optimizing, we can measure where that went in at 93.56. We actually tipped 93.05. So this is where optimization struggles a little bit with NinjaTrader. That would have hit that break-even trigger. Okay, so where it says there's a stop here, where it says stop on wrong side, it's not quite measuring that right. It's a NinjaTrader thing. It happens occasionally, but we can discount that loss if you like. So it's not the one actually that's given us a major loss. We need to find that one, and I'm more than certain that it's probably a something that's got a very large range. So we need to just figure that where that is. So another thing we can do is when we look at the strategy performance report, we can click on trades. We can figure out where that big trade was. So there was a couple of trades there on the 15th of August and on the 1st of August. So 15th and 1st of August is really where we want to be concentrating our efforts on right now, just to figure out where those losses were. So this is the 1st of August here. It's presenting as a loss. Remember, that one isn't quite right, but we've got a range here of 95 down to 95.50. So we've got a range of over 50 there. And then 15th of August, we are got a similar sort of loss. So we just go here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the first bit of next optimization is I'm going to put a max range on here. Now, I've got great profit here, but I can't live with that drawdown, and that's the thing. Max drawdown 2,866 is not good. So what I need to do is mitigate some of that, and I'm going to use the max range to begin with, and I'm going to put that at 30 ticks to begin with, and I'm going to put 30 ticks on the continuation as well. They're the only things I'm going to make a change on right now. We're going to play with max losses and things like that in a little while. But first of all, I just want to see if I can get rid of some of those or get that drawdown down by reducing that max range without sort of making the profit suffer too much. So let's look at the strategy performance report now. Okay, no trades, gone too far. So I'm going to put it at 40. Still no trades. Okay, I'm going to put this now at 50. There we go. So we've got a max range of 50. We've gone up in increments to find out, well, obviously that first 5 minutes is quite volatile on the oil pit open. But what we've done is gone to find a reasonably good range where we can start off a point. So we're still at, we're at $4,473 profit compared to $6,500 by just not having a maximum range. But the max drawn down is now only $257 compared to $2,866. So this, we're going to give a bit away here. But I tell you what, that max drawdown only being $257, we are pretty close to getting this fully optimized. I mean, sometimes it takes a lot longer than this. But this is really, really good. So again, by just adjusting that max range size really helps to identify the high risk trade. So if there's a really large range and it breaks out, you could say it's probably done what it needs to do and it might jump back in again. Whereas we've gone up to 50 and it looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export that. I'm going to go up to 60. So I've got that spreadsheet off on the screen. And I'm just going to add now one by one this time. It's laborious, but we need to do it. This is the hard work we need to do to begin with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to change the max range size of the opening range to 60. I'm not going to change the continuation. I am just going to look at that and see if it makes a positive or negative impact on that performance report. It's had a positive impact on the profit. However, the drawdown has gone from $257 to $1,000. That's not good for me. I'd rather take less risk and make, you know, $1,500 every 60 days less than those big drawdowns that we could have. So for me, that's not good enough for me. I want to keep that max drawdown as low as possible, whilst making a decent amount of profit. So I'm going to go back to strategies. I'm going to disable that. I'm going to put that back at 50. And to be honest, I'm going to leave it there because I'm not going to, the continuation trades don't move as far as the others. So the next thing I want to do is I want to look at some of the losing trades on the performance report, and I want to adjust that max loss because I don't want to be losing more than, you know, so much a day. So if I go to the performance reports, I want to do is, yes, it gives me an average losing trade as $257 there. The largest losing trade was $257. But I want to look at some of these, I mean, it's one, you know, it's one trade. You know, we've been very particular on what we want to trade. So we've reduced that by quite a bit. But what I need to do is, because we've only had a handful of trades in 60 days, because we've been very specific about that oil pit open. Remember, we're not trading those on a Wednesday. Now we're not trading anything that goes above 50. So it's only going to trade within our sort of low risk parameters. But what I still need to do is put on a max loss of, say, $250. Okay, that's 3 contracts of oil, so it's not a lot when you think about it. So I'm going to go to max loss here, daily strategy loss amount. I'm going to put that at minus 250. Okay. Now we got to run that performance report again because it may, some of those trades may have dipped into minus 250, then gone on to win. So I need to see if this is the right figure so it doesn't affect the performance of those winners. So I'm going to just click apply there. So you see the red at the bottom here, that's where it took the max loss for the day. Now we need to see what impact this has had on our performance report. Massive. So we've had a lot of instances where those moves have gone below the 250, then gone back on and won. So now we need to address this. And we need to probably put that at minus 600 to begin with. We do need a safety net, but that one's too tight, and this is where it's always a starting point when you're optimizing. So we're going to go down to minus 600, which is $200 per contract in theory. Now remember, this is not totally accurate because that optimization process, when they're printing these orders on the chart NinjaTrader, there is always a slight bit of difference. So we've got to look through these manually each time and have a look. See, max drawdown now is gone to 557 purely because we've said you can't go above $600 daily max loss. So, and we've lost at least $1,300 on there. So we're going to go to 750 now because, believe it or not, increasing that max drawdown will actually decrease the the max loss will decrease that max drawdown because some of these move in a loss-making position first, then go up and win, as long as they don't sort of break that that stop loss on the other side of the range. So what we have here, to be honest, when you look at it, a 50 tick range for 3 contracts is $1,500 risk to begin with. Now, obviously, when we've done this optimization, we've had nowhere near that. But when we're running these strategy performance reports, we need to put some sort of maximum loss that we're prepared to lose per day. Yes, it's going to run against us for a while and then probably come back. So we're going to go to 750 now, which is 250 per contract. Which is probably half what we need to be, really, if we're going to go and test those max ranges. So we're actually, we're looking at pullbacks halfway back into those max ranges, if you like. So let's have a look at this strategy performance report now. Okay, we're back to where we need to be. So what we have now is 4,473 total net profit. We've had 8 trades, 7 winners, 1 loser. That's in 60 days. We have a max drawdown of $257, which I really like. This is really good. On the short trades, we've had 4 for 4. On the long trades, 4 for 3. So we're very particular in when it trades. We're very particular on the maximum range of the trade. Now, average trades per day is 0.31. It's not a great deal, but the average profit per month, 3,600, I can live with that. You get flat periods of 14 days, but those do happen. But the main thing is we've reduced that risk. Now, this is just one trade. What we're going to look at now is the reversal. But what I want to do to begin with is I'm just going to show you how to save this template and then so we can use it for future. Okay, so we got a good strategy here on 3 contracts. Remember, if you want to reduce that risk more, you can change that to 2 contracts if you wish. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save this. So we're going to go to strategies again, go to template, go to save. Okay, so we're on version 2.1 for xBrat Range Breakout. So what I like to do is give it the instrument, the version. We're on 2.1 right now. 5 min breakout, and we'll give it a date. 3 contracts, the amount of contracts, and the date today is the 5th of September. So 05 September 22. We save that. That is now in our templates file, so we can load that up at a later date. You will notice when you've done that, we miss the P&L misses from the bottom. So what we need to do is we need to go back on, and we need to re-enable. Okay, to get that strategy back. Okay, so now we've got what we would say is a reasonably good strategy. Around about $3,000 to $3,500 a month profit there. Very strict criteria, reasonably safe. I mean, it could go against you and take 750 max, but the way we've set it up with the max ranges, that 10 tick break even trigger, we are pretty good. We can do a little bit more. Now, when we look at some of the winning trades, we can look at whether we hit targets, whether it's a confirmation trade or not. So this particular winning trade here, for example, it was a confirmation type trade. So it was this is that continuation trade. It had a confirmation because the green was above the blue, and we kept going, and when it crossed back over, we took the profit. So the confirmation works really well there. If that had kept running, that would have been a much bigger trade. We need to look at another winning trade. I just want to make sure that we've got the right targets here. Now, sometimes you've got to play around with those targets, because if you're missing the 3rd target every time and coming back to the break even, you've got to adjust it. So remember, there's not that many winners. We're being very particular when we trade, so we just need to go and find them. Okay, so here we can see target 1, target 2, target 3. There was a hell of a lot more movement there. I'd like to get some of that profit in reasonably quickly, but that third target, we could double that in this situation. Let's see if that happens again. So this was a break even. Okay, it just tipped up, came back down, took us out of a break even. Nothing that, that doesn't tell us a great deal. What we do need to do is try and find one more. So that was a confirmation exit again. So there's no real data there that's really going to help us out for that trade. So what we're going to do, I think, even though we've saved that, I just want to do one more thing and increase that third target. I think we need to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to strategies. Now you could go down a rabbit hole here, be aware, but you've got to be, this is just a breakout, not the continuation. I'm happy with those, but with the breakout, that third contract, remember, you've taken 150 bucks there, you've taken 250 bucks there. You're $400 in profit right now and you're risk free. You want to let that other one run sensibly. So we're going to double that to 80 ticks, which is $800. Okay, and see what happens. Because in those instances when it does run, you will make a lot more money. If it doesn't, you've made $400 plus the 20 or 20 bucks that's at the break-even trigger. Okay, so that's made an extra 400 bucks there. We are still good on the max drawdown because what we've done is increase that profit target there. So now we're at about $4,000 per month. To be honest, I don't want to go any more than that. I don't want to go over 100 ticks and be greedy and all that sort of thing because we only had 8 trades in 60 days. So what I do is probably run this and see what those figures are for the next few weeks, and if we get those moves which that third contract can go to, on average, say 100 ticks, I'll adjust that then. But right now this is a good starting point. So what I'm going to do is go and resave that. So again, go to strategies, just disable it, and then you can save it. And we were CL version 2.1. I just want to replace that. I don't want to put another one in there. You can see I do a lot of work, so there's a lot in there. Okay, so 5 min breakout, 3 contracts. 5th of September 22. Okay, I click save there. So I've got that. What I want to do now is look at a reversal. So yes, on 8 trades in that 60 days with a very strict criteria, we've made some good money. But on some of those days that didn't take trades, that oil could have reversed. And they're the trades I want to be getting in as well. So I want both bites of the cherry, really. So the first thing I'm going to do is disable opening trades. I'm going to disable continuation trades. I'm going to enable the reversal trades. So remember, I'm just going to disable all of those select days because we still had them on from that other strategy. So we're just going to trade flat every single session. To be honest, I'm only interested in reversals actually on that opening range, because that's the only time we can trade the reversal. So what I'm going to do is just have that on all days, 0850 to 0930. Okay, and that's the only time I'm interested. That's the only time we can trade the reversals anyway. I'm going to put a max loss there of -750. That's fine. We can still leave that. We've got the oil pit open session enabled. That's what we want. So now we're going for reversals. Let's talk about what we're going to do here. So the maximum first move out in the direction of the bias, no more than 75% of that range. Okay. We know those max ranges for the breakouts is 50, but we're going to leave that at 0 for now. So the minimum first move, I'm actually going to put that at 0. So I'm actually saying it doesn't have to move out of that range. But if for some reason it turns around after that first 5 minutes really quickly and it's still in the range, I want to get that reversal trade. So the maximum bars after opening, I want that reversal to happen. I want it to happen really quickly. So I'm going to put that at say 5 candles to begin with. I'm going to go for a 3 quantity, entry offset 1. I'm going to do the same break even. I'm going to do 10 and 2. I am not going to trade confirmation here. It's going to be target. And the targets on the reversal, I'm just going to put at 10, 20, 30 to begin with, and then we can adjust those as we go along. So that's all I've done for now. Let's click enable and apply and see what sort of data we get really. Okay, so we know that's working because we've got a red bias, and we've got that green vertical line. So that's working. Let's see what the strategy performance report looks like to this. Well, it's not bad. It's 101. So there are some winning trades in there, 33 trades. So we need to be a little bit more distinctive where what days these. I mean, it could be that Wednesdays is a good reversal. Let's have a look at the analysis. I'm going to look at day of the week. Thursday, Friday is good. Okay, so we've already dictated the opening range that we want to trade because that's where we want the reversals. But we can see here only Thursday and Friday is good for reversals. Okay, over the last 60 days. Again, if you look at this at a rolling 60-day period, at the end of each week, run this report again. If things are starting to change, just slightly adjust your optimization. So we're going to go back on here. We're going to click on the strategies. We're going to disable, and then we're going to go down to the bottom, so we can go to all days. We're going to put select days, and we're just going to trade Thursday and Friday. So we've got to uncheck most of these now, because remember we set this up for that oil one. So we've got to just take a time and uncheck all of these sessions, because we do not want it to trade all of these sessions. We only want to trade it Thursday and Friday. So I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck all of these. While that's happening, we're going to go Thursday 8:50 to 9:30, Friday to Friday 8:50 to 9:30. Just uncheck the rest of these. Now Thursday and Friday, it makes sense that those reversals do happen are good then, because there's a lot of economic data that comes out on a Thursday and Friday that will affect the US dollar and therefore oil. So things make sense. This data should make sense when you're going through this optimization. Okay, so we've just got two sessions, Thursday and Friday. We've got the opening range and we're just looking for reversals. So let's see what happens there. What we're trying to do is just increase our profit for that particular strategy, for the breakout strategy, whether it's breakouts or reversals for each month. And this reversal module is a good way of doing that. So let's have a look at the strategy performance report now. Now, we've got 12 trades, 12 winners. We have hit the nail on the head with this one. So, you look at the 4,400 from the breakouts, and then we're looking at, 2,300 from the reversals. But what I can see here is the largest winning trade is $294. I need to look at these winning trades now to see if we can adjust those targets, to see if there are better targets for us for those moves, because we just don't know. And notice we haven't got a max range on this reversal, because then when it reverses, it reverses. So we don't need a max range on this, and that's sometimes quite the case on reversals. So we've got a winner here. Target 1, target 2, target 3. I think target 3 can be extended on this particular winner. We've got another winner I did see here. Again, being careful. Target 3, a little bit of an extension there. So we're one-on-one at the moment. Again, it could have come down and take the break even anyway. Let's have a look at them more. So we may be able to extend some. Okay, we've got another winner here. I don't think these reversals move as quick or as much as the others, but this one probably reached its max there as well. I think there may be a call slightly to increase one of the last target. I just want to see the other winning trades just to confirm, because we'll move it and we may see that it doesn't actually affect anything, but I think it will do on this one, because this short did go a little further as well. So again, you can't do this on the strategy optimizer. Understanding the behavior, actually there's not a lot more in that third target either. We may be able to go to 50 ticks, but right now I'm actually thinking to keep 100% win rate is to keep these targets where they are. We don't want to break it. Yes, we could spend more time just adjusting them slightly, but right now, I've got to the end of the data, so we're 50-50 on. Some of them would have gone longer, some of them wouldn't have come back to do the break even. So right now I'm quite happy with that reversal. Things sometimes go that smooth. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to strategies. I'm going to go to template. I'm going to save CL version 2.1 reversal, 3 contracts, the 5th of September. So I'm saving the template. Whoops. The 65th of September doesn't work out. Okay, so I've saved that. Okay, so you've had the breakout strategy optimization for oil. Obviously, at the time of recording, this is the optimization, but in 4 weeks' time, it may have been adjusted. And then you've had the oil reversal. What I want to go through now, the last thing is a data reversal. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go through the optimization. I'm going to actually go through the strategy, because we already trade this. So I'm going to load up the xBrat range breakout. I'm going to load up a template, and I'm going to go through that template and then show it you on the chart. So template load this time. Okay, I'm going to go to gold. So I'm looking at the 10-minute 3 contracts reversal on data on a Thursday and a Friday. Okay, so I'm only trading this on a Thursday and Friday. The gold pit opens at 8:20 a.m. EST, and then at 8:30 a.m. EST there's major data that comes out Thursdays and Fridays. So we're looking at a reversal on that data. So I'm just going to load up that particular strategy, and there's economic data points that affects different instruments. It could be currency futures, it could be gold, it could be oil. There's the oil data that comes out on a Wednesday. You could look at reversals there. There's lots of ways to use this particular strategy. So what I've got is I've got the reversal enabled. Maximum 10 bars after opening. We're a 0 on minimum move, and we're 75% on there. Maximum range 60 here. I've got a max range on this one. And then I've got entry offset 2 ticks instead of 1, because that the volatility with the data reversal, if that happens. Then I've got 20, 30, 80 ticks. And then you'll notice here I've got the gold at this point there. Okay, that should be 8:30. Okay, so that's when that closes. Okay, there we go. Data. So I'm going to put I'll just put data there. I could put economic data or whatever. So we've got this one enabled. It's one of those custom sessions, and we've put data on there, and it's 8:30 a.m. because I'm going 10 minutes. I'm looking at that 10 minutes leading up to that data, and I'm trying to define that range, also the bias for that range. So if the bias is bearish, I'm looking for a long reversal trade on the data. So that's in there. That's good. Let's click apply, and let's see what that looks like on the chart. So the optimization process is the same. You just need to choose that time, the range you want to trade, look at data reversals more than anything, or you could straddle it. You could do like we've just done with the oil. You could look for a breakout strategy and a reversal strategy on separate chart sets. One caveat here, guys, is you cannot run the reversal strategy on the same chart as the continuation or the breakout. You can run continuation and breakout together on the same chart. Reversal has to be on its own. Okay. So remember, I'm going to trade this Thursdays and Fridays. So we need to go back a little bit. So here, last week I had no trades. This week I had a trade here. Target 1, target 2 was hit. Now, again, this is the caveat. This would have hit the break even. So this actually, that would have shown, this wouldn't have shown as much profit as actually than it did. Because when you're running this back test, because it came back down here, it should have taken a break even out, but it didn't on the optimization. And that happens occasionally. This is why it's good to look. Another one here. Took a little bit of profit. They don't always reverse, but when they do, we get a good little profit here. Okay, so again, target 1, target 2, target 3 wasn't hit. It should have taken out a break even, but the optimization just did a little bit on the close there, and that happens. Let's just find a couple more. Okay, this is the one where 3 targets were hit. So this was a Friday. We're defining that range. It's green, and all of a sudden it reverses down. Target 1, target 2, target 3, and just keeps going. Okay, so when we look at the strategy performance report for this is 60 days. So we're looking back 60 days, and we have an 88% profitable win rate. We have a total net profit of $6,000. 26 trades on that reversal on the Thursday and Friday. So 26 trades, sorry, within that 60 days. It's a good strategy. So please look at that, the Range Breakout Auto Trader for those data reversal strategies. Understand what time the data comes out. Understand what type of instrument it's going to affect. And, whether it's a currency, futures, gold or oil or whatever it is, and then look to define the range before that. So when that data comes out at 8:30 a.m., for example, you want the 10 minutes before that. Or if it's an index, you want it the 15 minutes before that. So hopefully that helps. So really, really simple strategy. There's a lot of work involved in optimization, but that work is well worth it.